Well, I am Dwayne Thompson. Now you know what the famous last words of a pastor are. In closing. I want to start today, I want to define a couple of words for us. I want to define for us the word liberty. The definition of liberty is the state of being free within society from oppressive restrictions imposed by authority on one's life, one's behavior, or one's political view. That's liberty. Let's define freedom. Freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without any hindrance or restraint. Now, how many of you all believe that our liberties and freedoms are being affected in our nation today? I just want to make sure we're on the same page. I'm sure we are. But I want to make sure we understood what those are. As Americans, we have the right to live out what our founding fathers established. Did you know that? As Americans, we have the right to live out what our founding fathers established, and therefore, as Americans, we have the right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. As Americans, we have the right to demand that our leaders follow the Constitution. You understand that? We better. Because if they don't, there's going to be a rearranging of their office furniture because they're not going to be there anymore. And that's the attitude that we need to have. Folks, we waited too long. I'll be the first to raise my hand. I've waited too long. All right? I'll be the first. This is not confession for you, this is confession for me. I've waited too long. And we need to hold their feet to the fire in the Constitution. If the Constitution is going to be followed, this has got to happen. This has got to happen. And if the Constitution is not being followed, they are the ones that's allowing it. Always remember that. All of us, we need to be held accountable. As elected officials, public servants, we must be held accountable. And if something's not being done right, we're the ones that's allowing it not to be done right. If America's going to get back on track to be the exceptional nation it once was, we need a breakthrough. We're going to have a breakthrough in Washington, D.C. I'll tell you something else we need. We need some re-engineering. You can't do politics same. Everyone always talks about politics. It's got to be re-engineered. I'll tell you something else we need. We need a new normal. What we're going to call a new normal in D.C. And if this is going to be true, then we're going to have to return, and I'll say it again, we're going to have to return to the principles that our founding fathers knew and implemented. Principles have been time-tested. Principles have been time-tested. We got to return to those. Do you know these are biblical principles? And let me just give you a few real quick. Few realize that progressive taxation, inheritance tax, capital gains tax, government welfare, the stacking of debt upon debt, those are not biblical principles. Personal financial responsibility is a biblical principle to be ignored by our leaders. The biblical principle of rewarding the person who does well with what they are given is the opposite of what our leadership desires today. How about the biblical principle that teaches that those who can work must work? And how about the biblical principle that says that we should put our needs ahead of others? And when our leaders, we put the others' needs, your needs, the people's needs ahead of our own, then we'll get back to what we need to. Thank you.